Hello guys, welcome back to Flashback Flicks. Get ready for a quick dive into today's movie recap. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Prepare to be captivated as we explore the enchanting world of How to Train Your Dragon, the Hidden World. Hiccup finds himself on a quest to protect his beloved dragon, Toothless, from a relentless dragon slayer. As danger closes in on Burke, Hiccup must uncover the legendary Hidden World, a sanctuary for dragons, before it's too late. Join us as we dive into a tale of friendship, bravery, and the battle for a brighter future. The film opens on a dragon trapper ship. Hiccup and Toothless infiltrated to rescue captured dragons, with Hiccup wearing a suit of dragon scales to walk through fire. They are joined by Astrid, Snotlout, Fishlegs, and Roughnut and Toughnut, all wearing scale suits and riding in on their dragons to fight the trappers. The heroes free the dragons and escape, unaware that they have left one behind. The dragon riders return to Burke, which is now wildly overpopulated with dragons that they have rescued over the last year. A new dragon rampages through the town, accidentally knocking over an entire row of dragon towers, causing chaos. Hiccup, seeing the mess, turns to Toothless, the Night Fury, reminding him of his role as the alpha dragon. Toothless steps in and with commanding growl, he quickly brings the new dragon under control. Meanwhile, Hiccup has been leading the villagers as chief, but he still doesn't feel that he is the chief his father was. While Valka has been helping train other dragons. Later that day, the Burkians gather for a small celebration. Amidst the laughter and joy, Gobber casually suggests that Hiccup and Astrid should consider getting married soon. The comment catches them off guard, and neither of them feels ready to take that step in their relationship just yet. A notorious dragon slayer called Grimmel the Grizzly arrives to meet with the warlords that have been capturing dragons. When they tell Grimmel about Hiccup and Toothless, he finds himself surprised, as he had believed to have slayed every last Night Fury. The warlords show Grimmel the dragon that was left behind, a white Night Fury. He decides to use her as bait to lure Toothless to him, and he doesn't worry about Hiccup since Grimmel sees him as just a boy in over his head. Back in Burke, Hiccup finds himself reflecting on a memory with his father, Stoic. He recalls Stoic telling him about the legend of a hidden world of dragons, a mysterious place where dragons lived in peace, untouched by conflict. Stoic had always hoped to find it, so that he can end the fighting between Vikings and dragons. Soon afterward, Astrid arrives, and the two begin discussing the growing danger of keeping the dragons in Burke. Astrid worries about the risks they face if they continue bringing dragons to the village, with enemies constantly threatening their safety. However, Hiccup remains hopeful. He believes that if they can find the hidden world of dragons his father spoke of, both the dragons and the people of Burke could finally be safe, free from the dangers that follow them. While Hiccup and Astrid are deep in conversation, Toothless suddenly hears something and quietly slips away into the forest. There, he comes across the Light Fury. Enamored by her beauty, Toothless immediately tries to impress her, awkwardly attempting to woo her with his playful antics. However, just as things seem to be going well, Hiccup and Astrid stumble upon the scene. Their presence startles the Light Fury, and she instinctively fires a blast in their direction before vanishing into thin air, leaving Toothless longing for her return. The next morning, Hiccup notices a change in Toothless. The usually carefree dragon seems more distracted and energized. It doesn't take long for Astrid to figure it out. She tells Hiccup that Toothless has fallen in love with the Light Fury. Hiccup takes Toothless and Toughnut back into the woods to look for her, but Hiccup manages to detect traps before it catches Toothless. He brings back a tranquilizer dart they found, which Eret recognizes as Grimmel's work. He warns Hiccup that Grimmel most likely wanted them to find the trap as a means to lead him right back to them. That night, Hiccup finds Grimmel has snuck inside his house and seemingly tranquilized Toothless. He orders Hiccup to give Toothless up, and expresses how he thinks humans and dragons shouldn't coexist, since he views humans as being superior. When he goes to Toothless, it turns out that he shot Fishlegs, and Hiccup's friends and family come out to ambush Grimmel. However, he summons his acid-spitting death grippers to tear through Hiccup's home. Before leaving, Grimmel delivers a chilling warning to Hiccup. He threatens that if Hiccup doesn't hand over Toothless, the last Night Fury, he will burn down the entire village of Burke. Seeing the destruction in the village, Hiccup gathers the Burkians together and realizes that with Grimmel going after them, it is no longer safe to stay in that land. While some of the villagers argue against leaving their homes, Hiccup tells them that they are Burke no matter where they live. However, Grimmel was counting on them to abandon their homes all along, and he plans to keep tracking Toothless with reluctant help from the warlords. The Burkians travel with the dragons to another island to stay temporarily. The Light Fury appears to follow the group, but she vanishes after knocking Hiccup off of Toothless' back after mistaking him for an enemy. She reappears later that night, and Toothless goes after her. Hiccup wakes up and goes to try and help him out. Toothless does goofy dances to court the Light Fury, which does not impress her. He then manages to draw her face in the sand, which she seems to like. Unfortunately, she flies away again when she spots Hiccup, and Toothless is unable to fly after her because of his bad fin. Hiccup later decides to fix up the fin and paint it black so that Toothless can go and find the Light Fury. Hiccup attaches a new fin to Toothless' tail, allowing the dragon to fly independently once again. Toothless flies until he finds the Light Fury. They take flight together as she demonstrates her ability to camouflage herself using her fire breath. With her help, Toothless is able to use his own power with lightning to achieve the same effect. They continue flying until the Light Fury brings Toothless to a waterfall. Meanwhile, Valka heads back out on Cloud Jumper to make sure the villagers weren't followed. They are spotted by the Death Grippers, who try to attack and bring them down, but the two manage to escape and head back to warn Hiccup. After learning Grimmel is hot on their trail, Hiccup leads the dragon riders to catch him, but he was expecting this, so they have fallen into his trap. He sends the Death Grippers after them, but they manage to evade them and escape. They accidentally leave Ruffnut behind and don't realize it until they return to the island. Hiccup is then pressured into finding another solution to stopping Grimmel. He notices Toothless hasn't returned, and Astrid reminds him that he gave Toothless his freedom to be with the Light Fury. Hiccup decides to take some time alone, stepping away to clear his mind. Meanwhile, Valka approaches Astrid, noticing Hiccup's struggle. She tells Astrid that Hiccup is trying to lead on his own, much like his father did, but what he doesn't realize is that he's stronger when she's by his side. Inspired by Valka's words, Astrid seeks out Hiccup and asks him to join her in finding Toothless. As Grimmel tries to make his next move, Ruffnut starts to annoy the hell out of him with her endless talking, so he frees her along with the dragon. Meanwhile, Hiccup and Astrid ride Stormfly to find Toothless. They come across the waterfall and are flown down into the hidden dragon world, which is vast and beautiful. They see Hiccup acting as the alpha to all the dragons, with the Light Fury now officially being his mate. The other dragons spot Hiccup and Astrid and chase after them. Toothless and Stormfly grab them and flee to New Berk. Seeing Toothless looking sad and torn, Hiccup gently tells him that he should go to the hidden world and live with the Light Fury, where he can be free and happy. But just as he says this, the Light Fury arrives, showing that she wants to stay with Toothless instead of leaving. This unexpected moment brings joy to Hiccup, as he realizes his best friend won't have to choose between love and friendship. Toothless can stay with him, with the Light Fury by his side. Soon afterward, Ruffnut returns to the village. She explains that the dragon hunters let her go because she annoyed them too much. However, Hiccup's instincts kick in, and he realizes that Grimmel must have followed her. Alarmed by the potential threat, he rushes to find Toothless, but Grimmel successfully capturing Toothless and the Light Fury. As the other dragons rush forward to attack Grimmel, he quickly raises his weapon and threatens to kill the Light Fury if they don't back off. Toothless, recognizing the danger, lets out a commanding roar, ordering the other dragons to stop. They halt in their tracks, forced to obey their alpha. Grimmel takes the Light Fury and Toothless with him as he leaves. All the other dragons, compelled by their loyalty to their alpha, follow him. Hiccup feels hopeless and sees himself as a failure as chief. Astrid encourages him as she always has, letting him know she was the first person to believe in him and will always be there to pick him up. Hiccup rounds up his friends with their dragon suits to fly after the ship. Grimmel brings his captured dragons to the warlords, but he tells them that he plans to kill Toothless for himself, denying them the chance to have him for themselves. The heroes then swoop in to free their dragons and take on Grimmel's army. They manage to steer the dragon trapper ships toward each other, causing the trappers to abandon ship as they all sink. Grimmel attempts to kill Hiccup, but he manages to free Toothless. Grimmel takes the Light Fury to the sky, leading Hiccup and Toothless to chase after them. The Death Grippers fly in and surround Toothless, until he harnesses his lightning power and electrocutes them all before vanishing. He appears before Grimmel, and Hiccup jumps toward him. Grimmel tranquilizes Toothless, sending him falling to the ground. Hiccup tackles the villain and frees the Light Fury, order her to save Toothless as Hiccup and Grimmel fall. The Light Fury catches Toothless and lands with him on a cliff. Grimmel tears Hiccup's suit apart, but the Light Fury flies toward Hiccup. He loosens his prosthetic foot, sending Grimmel to his watery grave as the Light Fury catches Hiccup and lands safely. All the other villagers arrive on their dragons. The Burkians celebrate their victory until Hiccup realizes it is time to let Toothless go. He bids his best friend farewell, and the two embrace tearfully. The other Burkians must then say goodbye to their beloved dragons. They fly toward the hidden world, with Toothless sharing one last look with Hiccup. A while later, Hiccup and Astrid get married, making them chief and chiefess. Fast forward some years later, Hiccup and Astrid now have a son and a daughter. They ride a boat toward the hidden world and come across Toothless and the Light Fury sitting together on a rock with 3 little dragons of their own. Toothless flies over to the boat and does not seem to immediately recognize Hiccup. He slowly moves his hand toward his snout as he did when they first met, and Toothless pounces on Hiccup for the first time in perhaps a decade. Astrid then brings the kids over so that Hiccup can introduce them to Toothless. They then take flight on Toothless, Stormfly, and the Light Fury together as a family. As we conclude our journey through How to Train Your Dragon, the Hidden World, we reflect on the powerful message Hiccup learned: you are what you choose to be. This encapsulates the essence of his transformation, from a boy unsure of himself to a brave leader who embraces his true identity. We're reminded that our choices shape who we are and the legacy we leave behind. If you enjoyed this adventure, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to Flashback Flicks for more magical movie recaps. Until next time, let your imagination soar.